I believe everyone should take a look at what we can do on that very stage. KOA brings a lot of pride for her roster.
I think it's good, man. Again, the way that Geltek has performed so far, their journey up to this point, they've showcased so many interesting things. I mean, and I know some of them might have been seen as mistakes. I'm thinking the Louis Yi diversion send with the Clint.
The Aulus.
The Aulus. There's been so many good moments from them that I'm wondering if they look at that and say, you know what, that's a part of us. That's our personality. That's the way we play. We laugh about it, we correct it, and we move on.
It's a brand of the region. Davai. I would not want to see Geltek turn into the next macro team. This is them. You expect them to fight. You expect them to get in there, play in the paint. Opening picks, Beleric has been banned out, so that means Esmeralda's open. Carry might actually be a big pick here. You know what I'm saying?
I say it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I think the Esmeralda. That's probably the safest, I would say. One of the picks that they could go with because, yeah, most likely you're going to face off the trade. Carry goes over to Falcons if they decide to go ahead and pick this, unless they have something else planned that we haven't seen just yet. But whoa,
of course.
What is it with the Hirata?
Okay, so Hirata has gotten relatively silent for the past maybe 12, 18 hours after yesterday, but here we are. If KOA decides that this is the way, then we're expecting a snowball. Beleric, again, already banned out. I'm expecting him to always be open anyways. Freya's open too.
Yeah, the Hirara is a weird pick. You know, Seda Esports were the first ones to truly dive in to Hirara after the new meta, of course, ended up giving her a buff. But the thing that I've learned is Hirara is only one piece of the puzzle, and you can't rely on it.
Oh, Joseph. Taylor, jungle. Look at this. Coach Koba getting real playful, picking a Carmilla early on, red 2, alongside a guard. I can see that smile on your face.
Yes, sir. I'm not smiling about the Hirara, though.
Yeah, no. This Carmilla says nothing about what the draft is going to be. This is mind games. Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors, that's the way to play it. Leo, I was saying this earlier on. I was like, man, I think when we get to the knockouts, we're not going to see a first pick Hirara. Right? I love the way Reflection says it, by the way. It validates me a little bit, but that's the thing. The Hirara is something that teams have been trying to test out, fumbling around with, and now in this best of 3, where it's this single elimination now in knockouts, can they utilize this? Can they actually make it work? They'll pick up a Claude to go ahead and put in the gold lane with this so far.
Okay. Quick run through and a review of how the mechanics work. If KOA times it well, the Curse of Blood will actually not trigger.
True.
And that may even save heroes that get out of range, like, say, Tokyo's Claude, because if the Curse of Blood is triggered while the Hirara is in her iframes, it will not connect.
It won't connect. So that's all, it's timing, but it's also the micro skills, that ability of KOA. And then there's Charizla, man. I'm actually so surprised.
It's been a while.
He's only been picked once in MWI so far, but the Rizzler is back. And is this the right move? Because you're working against the Carmilla.
A good answer to the Carmilla.
Exactly.
Because when you're the Carmilla, you want to play in front. You want to be able to get the perfect COB. But with the Terizla, there's a threat of a counter penalty zone. Moskov closes up the first phase for Falcons MENA. And, something tells me they faced off way too many macro teams in the past 2 days.
Yep.
And that they just want to have an answer that can kind of clip back across the map.
Yeah, just choose that way. I mean, this is one of the things, right, where Names has been able to do relatively well. She plays the Moskov. Remember, just earlier today, feels like yesterday, but just earlier today, how many SOD she was landing. That ultimate of the Moskov. She was on point with them. And so hopefully she's got that accuracy here too, because that's going to be really important on the way they play the map. If she's going to be split pushing, joining the team fights at the right moment to win those team fights, when that Curse of Blood or even the Mystic Gush are expended.
Going into the second phase, Coach Koba first bans the Valentina, while Coach Osprey here taking out the Hyla, so they're not quite sure just yet. I don't know where that Carmilla's going. I'm not so sure if that's a jungler or a roamer, so we'll start taking out solid frontliners, so that eventually our backline, if we do invest in one through the blue 4 and 5 picks, can kind of survive. Still no mid laner for Geltek Cyber Team. What is left?
Got to be an Eve, man. I don't know. There's. I'm thinking the Eve. You already got the Terizla. You can fight in literally a penalty box at that point.
That's true, and you kind of want something to answer back to the straight line, the true damage is coming out of the passive of the gourd.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the last ban from Falcons, MENA, would
Should have
be
been
the Eve.
Yeah.
Not the Lilia, but they go that way anyway. So let's just say it's the Eve for Geltek. What else do they need? They still need that roam option over here, which is integral to making the Harara work. Like we mentioned, for that most successful that we've seen with the Harara performances has been because of that roam option.
They can still Gatot.
Yep.
Gatot Kacha is still on the board.
Red 4 here, though. Do you go with your XP now?
Yes, in hopes of not revealing that jungle pick. Coach Koba, you have to commit to the bit. Hold out for it.
Because that could still be a roam Carmilla. Even though we've, naturally we've seen her in the jungle. Mainly for this.
Yuzhong got banned. I was gonna say, you need more ways to pop that Purify.
You gotta pop that Purify.
There's Sora!
Sora, all right, that
One of the best to do it.
one of the best to do it. Picks that up, got your crowd control, set up potential so that the Carmilla doesn't have to be the only one to do that. You can follow through from the projectiles.
And deny the
Exactly.
natural predator to gourd.
Fun fact about Sora, Sora has only lost once today, okay? Only once, and that was during our last matchup, map number 1. Until then, Sora had a 100% win rate.
Sora's a menace. He's always been.
And it tells you so much by that red 4 ban.
Exactly.
The Valentina.
Yeah, but they don't want, and that was why we were so surprised earlier today too when we saw the Sora and the Valentina actually face off.
Joseph, what
Yeah.
if? What if?
Yeah.
Atlas red 5.
Atlas Red 5.
He's open.
It would make it even more deadly.
Imagine all of the linking.
Too much layering. Okay, Geltek's gonna take one out of the book that we saw from Vitality. They'll take a Cho. They've got the Jushin.
That's a lot of crowd control. Everyone but the Claude can actually either slow, stun, or knock you up.
Yep.
Hirara to a smaller extent. But are we gonna get it? Could this be the Atlas for the all-in? The wombo combo, link y'all up and call it a day.
This would be the most wombo combo we've seen in a while if it is the Atlas.
They can afford to do it. It's game 1.
It's game 1. You might as well. What other roam would you want to take here? Unless it is a swing on the Carmilla, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to be. And I think that's the major decision that Team Falcons MENA are trying to decide right now, just because, again, the mere fact if they get the upper hand in game 1, they're off to already a momentous start in this best of 3
I
series.
would trust Nana to get there with it.
Oh, so it is. Okay.
Yep, it's the usual. It's a roam. Hold up. Wait, it's a roam Carmilla.
Is it a jungle Alice?
Huh?
It has been a while since we've seen that.
And it's been a while since we've seen these two teams face off against each other, but it's also a classic. Kiowa versus Names. Geltek Cyber Team versus Falcons MENA. For Falcons MENA, not only trying to make history, but also trying to stay alive for the club championship race and represent Falcons on the biggest totem we have at EWC. Geltek Cyber Team faces off against Falcons MENA. Let's get it started. Miracle Eterna, take it away.
This was a matchup that Nucci really wanted after her previous accomplishment by taking her previous opponents down. And she finally gets it here and now with a very interesting and peculiar draft. The Alice in the jungle, Nana once again flexing her versatility in that role.
Ridiculous to bring this up so late into the tournament as well. We'll find out if it actually works. Again, though, at the start of the game, we can see Sanjika and Kuejo holding the mid very, very well. Already winning the trade. Names in the bottom lane. Gonna have to deal with Kiowa. Double dash. Baiting out the Purify early. Quite a big win for GCT already.
Yeah, you can see the control coming through there, and it looks like GCT also want to look for something even more. Already going in for the invade into the enemy jungle. The Cho and the Jushin in the mid lane. That mid duo, it's going to be difficult to try and look for something. As the pickup happens, Syrinx getting caught.
Nana with the walk up too on this Alice jungle. I think GCT will have enough shred to deal with Alice later on in the game. I think they have enough damage as well early to just pin her down. Especially with Liubon here already getting the XP crab. It's all about that first turtle. And yeah, the Sora has lost map 1 earlier, and also I believe it was game number 3 with Fumieko on the Arlet.
Was that a flicker?
It's very interesting. Series flickers out but walks up again, giving the opportunity for GCT to walk up and to get even more punishment down. Another battle spell already taken out of the play before the first turtle. It's Syrinx and Nucci having to use Flicker and Revitalize.
I think it was a little bit of pressure. I think a little bit of nerves perhaps here in the stage, because once again, this is a elimination match. If they want to move forward here in MWI, they do need to take each other down. Meanwhile, now Nana already in position to pick up the neutral objective. Nucci, Nocturne, and Strings are there as well. Let's see what Kyoe can do.
Walking up, Shifting Skies, the immobilization already there. Nana picks up the retreat onto the neutral objective. Pops in a throw in a ruin. That's giving a lot of damage coming through as Nucci is taken low. But look at Kyoe. Picking up a kill in the back line now as Kuejo's able to flicker out. But Kyoe still in the back line, trying to get Syrinx assassinated. Kyoe caught against 2. Mystic Projectile lands as Sanjika pops in Crimson Beacon and Kuejo jumps in with the Jikundo. Just one more hit onto Syrinx with no flicker. Great Mystic Projectile with the region, and now it's Kuejo stuck against Nucci with a stun. She gets away. Oh! Nana with a fadeaway pick.
Eventually, it all gathers into a 1-for-2 trade, and it looks like Falcons Vega also pick up the neutral objective. So far, still, it looks like Falcon Vega pick up the control here, despite that early control from Geltek. And right at this point, Kyoe, we don't really feel the impact just yet. What are we waiting on from Kyoe?
Wait a second, could be a solo kill up top. Right now for Kyoe, it's the cooldowns. It's all about the cooldowns when you're playing Hirara. It's all about how you can get those sliding skills up as fast as possible. Kuejo gets away with the Jikundo there. Oh, the SOD from downtown Names! Playing it safe the entire laning phase, but striking when necessary. What the heck? And now the Spear of Misery to pin Tokyo down. BMI, but Syrinx is right there. Frozen Blazing went to throw to ruin. Gives Nana the killing spree, and it's Falcons, MENA, who are just running away with this game.
The panel literally just talked about it. In their previous match, Names was able to pick up the Moskov and the SODs landed perfectly. And then we see one right at the get-go here, 3 minutes in, and she gets a snipe of her own. An imbalance for the lane, despite Tokyo being able to survive for just a bit until, well, Nana came in and said, no, Kyoe!
Gets away with the untargetable Curse of Blood though. Double untargetable, now it's Kuejo walking up, getting stunned, and now a turret for Falcons Vega. Turtles up, but GCT cannot contest. It just seems like Falcons Vega are gonna go for another fight. Nocturne is the one who forces out the Crimson Beacon. Yet another big resource burnt out as Nana will just book it straight onto Turtle 2.
That, and they also take a creep away from Geltek. So they're really denying the resources from Geltek. They don't want Kyoe to farm. They know that one of the saving graces for Geltek is Kyoe, and she seems to have not as much space as she'd like here in this particular game. Falcons Vega really pumping up the gas, a 2,500 gold lead, 2 objectives under their belt, and they were able to pick up the turret down bot as well. So Falcons Vega, they're playing it clean, and they're really just collapsing over and over.
And yet again, they do it. Leoblon flickers out, gets the penalty zone. Defensively, the SOD. Close, but not close enough. Kuejo now with the Jikundo, able to get the Jikundo down, but no way the Dragon just yet. Shifting Skies brings Kyoe right into the midst of it all right now. No untargetable. It's still on cooldown. Names takes her out. And Sanjika has to use the Crimson Beacon defensively. Now, can they get a trade in the bottom lane is the question. Nana rotates over. Tokyo's going to have to respect this. And up top, it's all Falcons Vega. Picking up a turret for free yet again. Down below and now up top.
They don't get the trade. They don't get the trade. They denied away from Tokyo. And Tokyo is forced back here. You can see Nana just chasing her down. And it looks like the composition from Falcons Vega is working really, really well. They're using brute force between Nana, Nucci, and Nocturne. And they're facilitating Names and Syrinx. Quite similar to, I would say, Game 2 of the other Falcons that we saw earlier on.
Unfortunately, yes, Falcons ID sent home earlier today. Falcons Vega have no intention to suffer the same fate as their sisters. So far, so good. They've done a good job at balancing that safety with the right amount of aggression. Speaking of aggression, man, forcing it out. Oh, it's still in range of the Mystic Gush and the SOD. Again, at this point, that SOD is an execute.
Who needs Flame Shot? Who needs Flame Shot when you have an SOD that lands like that? 2 out of 3 so far for Names. And she is really working with this Moskov. I think this is one of her new power picks from the, old Clint, Brunos of the world. She's finally picked up another hero that really suits her. And it's working really, really well for them as well. 4,400 gold lead. You can see the turtle already spawning back into the game. But Nocturne is already in position to deny Kyoei from entering into that vicinity. And I think she knows that. Kyoei only focusing on the buffs and looking for something elsewhere.
There's nothing for them to trade it with. This is getting very scary for GCT. It's only a best of 3. Getting that game 1. Huge momentum, huge morale boost. Kyoei's done a good job here just farming up a storm, but question is, will it be enough? Tokyo on the cloud as well, under farm compared to Names. Uh-oh. Kyoei spotted, unable to get these waves. Falcons, Vega. Such a good way to suffocate their opponents, not to conceal. Cancel with the Mystic Projectile straight into the Mystic Gush. Now Kyoei jumps onto the Moskov, but Names has a Spirit of Misery. Now Kyoei's on cooldown. The Curse of Blood, not even necessary. Lantern Flare knocks Nocturne up, but Nucci gets the stun on Kuejo. Now Names with the SOD and the Misery. A double for Names.
What a follow-up. What a follow-up there by Falcons MENA. You'd think that they were, just chilling for quite a bit, but it looks like they still have their eyes on the prize. The insta follow-up coming in from Names and the initial stun there from Nucci. You can really feel the chemistry just beating into their gameplay, and they pick up yet another structure in the bottom lane. It's looking bleak for Geltek as even the buff gets taken away, and it's in the hands of Names, of all people.
5-0-1. She better get the orange buff at this point, man. She's the hyper carry right now, dealing so much damage, and at 8 minutes, almost completing that DHS to make it the Swift Trinity. A whole 1,500 gold ahead of her laner as well. This is just fantastic stuff from Names.
So she afforded all that without her Swift Trinity.
And without the Bargain Hunter as well. Usually you'd expect a Bargain Hunter for a Moskov that does, to get this Swift Trinity early on. Kuejo, way to drag it out to Nucci. Nucci's gonna find a Curse of Blood very soon now. She's gonna wait for the moment as well. They can see on the SOD lands again. The Spirit of Misery locks her down. Names with a monster kill. 6-0-1. She's tearing it up.
She is for sure. And what I wanted to say was, before Kuejo could afford these things, right? Of course, Kuejo is expected to open up the map, look into bushes, look for opportunities to create a turnaround for Falcons MENA, but at this state in time, the damage it's really amounting to something. Names is already with her Swift Trinity. You do see that Geltek are looking for something else on the map. They do take a structure there down bot with the help of Kyoei and her fast rotations. But that's all they've been able to get so far. I guess slowly but surely they can come back, but it's a 7,000 gold lead in 10 minutes.
Against a composition that should be the good one in late game. This is a scaling comp. It's a Gord, a Moskov, and even Alice in the jungle. GCT were the ones that should have had the early game here with their composition, but we'll see if they can defend this. Nana's already looking for the entrance here. Just go for the skirmish. You're going to track and get the Holy Shield down before the Lord even gets into the siege of Falcons Vega.
I feel like everything banks on Kuejo right now. Syrinx doesn't have Purify, so there is an opportunity. Wait a second!
Mystic Gush defensive penalty zone with the flicker from Liuban. They've already dealt with the Holy Shield. Now they go for the charge with a Trident on the Lord. Good stun on Sanjika, who has to use the Crimson Beacon. Now they track back, holding the Lord into the mid, getting the Holy Shield. But again, it's such a massive victory for Falcons Vega. Far lane control already. Kyoei walks up. Mystic Projectile not in range. Falcons want more.
The Ice Queen.
Throne Ruin gets one, just one now. Kyoei trying to go for the clear in the wave already. Liuban's coming there, but the Shifting Skies brings Sanjika back into the Mystic Gush. Names Just caught the Melfic gun now. Could have been a kill on Kyoe. Liubon taking up a storm, but that's enough against Names. Way the Dragon Purified out of now is Names. Is able to just go for the damage. Kyoe's gonna fall to Syrinx. Names on the base. Kuejo's trying to take that damage again, but Names stays locked in 11 minutes. And it's game 1 for Falcons Vega.
Such a decisive victory here by Team of Falcons MENA. It looks like after their victory against Porte Esports earlier on, it was enough energy, motivation, and momentum for them to carry it through here for game number 1. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3. This is just the beginning. Geltek Cyber team still have a chance to come back and force a game number 3. It all depends on the reset here. But my oh my, did not expect Falcons Vega MENA to come guns blazing like this in game number 1. And I think you even had some thoughts about the draft.
When you snowball like this with a late game composition, when you beat GCT's win con and take it away from them that early on, it's chopped either way.
So we are going to throw it over to a break, give the girls some cool down. But we'll see you after for game number 2. Take it over.
Falcons MENA have already made history coming to this very stage, making it to the knockout rounds. They continue to do so by winning round number 1. They are 1 round away from moving forward into our semifinals. Boys, a great matchup. Falcons MENA coming in a lot stronger than I was expecting, quite honestly. Especially given the fact that Geltek Cyber team won 2-0, 2-0 in their respective groups. Falcons MENA surprising everybody.
I think those spears surprised me, man. They surprised me. They surprised everybody watching. The spears from that Moskov of Names, I don't know. We got to think of a name for her.
Hey, put respect on her names. Names on the Moskov is a elemental threat. Woo. So I think going into game number 2, Geltek, Coach Osprey, take care of business.
And that was Kyoe and Names. They've got history, right? So, hey, let's see if that continues to develop. Let's take a look at a couple of big moments as we see, obviously, the fans, or excuse me, the players and the teams getting super happy for that big win, and rightly so, because, again, they continue to make history, and it is truly special. Given that map number 1, I don't see any reason why they will be slowing down.
I like that in the post-game celebration, coaches and management like, hey, it's just game 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Just game 1.
Keep it chill.
That's right. Well, actually, we had a player earlier crying after their map 2 win, but unfortunately it wasn't over just yet, and they ended up getting eliminated. You can't celebrate too early, but you know what? You should celebrate whenever you can. Keep the team spirits high. Let's take a look at one of our big moments throughout map number 1, and this time around, it was an ambush.
It was an ambush here, man. There was so many moments in this case. I mean, look at the positioning here. Names once again finds a mark on Tokyo. The rest of the team collapses down here. And there's just no space to work there if you're Tokyo.
And this shows us one weakness that Geltek Cyber Team's draft has: lack of vision. Cho is great. Cho is an immortal figure in MLBB. He's always going to be around given his kit, but they had no vision. They didn't know where the rest of Falcons Vega MENA was, so they couldn't protect Tokyo.
Well, let's take a look at our second moment from the game, and this will be the final moment we'll be reviewing. We get towards the tail end, the home base. It's under evasion.
Look at this, Leo. This setup is basically the fruition of the entire game. Names is unleashing, by the way. She's, look at this, 6-0-2. By the way, again, how many spears does she land? I lost count at one moment.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them. Maybe missed one.
Not all. But over the past, 72 hours, 3 days of competition, I'd say she'd hit close to 60-70%.
Which is a really incredible statistic, to tell you the truth. Falcons MENA fired on all cylinders, looking great, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. And the only ones that can truly slow them down is going to be Geltek Cyber Team. Do they have it within them to make this happen? As you can see on stage, we're all fun. We're having a good time. But you know what? Things start to get real when you move into map 2 and you are down a map. Your key is at risk of being crushed.
I'm dying to know what kind of joke was being told amongst the members of Falcons MENA.
Yeah.
Because Names and Nucci were losing it.
Yeah, Nucci's really always in high spirits. I mean, even in their interview earlier on when they finished up on B Stream, you know, you can just see the excitement that they all have. And this is, again, a showcase of just how well they know each other as a team, as friends, and it showed in the land on even.
And I'm afraid to say it might be the opposite for Geltek right now. They are on the cusp of getting eliminated. And I'm just reading body language. Nobody's laughing.
You can't at this point, man. You got to be all serious. Now, talking adjustments going into map 2, I'm curious what you guys are thinking. Until then, though, Esports World Cup has been truly phenomenal, and there's so much going on. And if you want to keep up to date with everything, you got to get yourself the EWC app.
Thinks he can come in here and play my game. Go. He knows nothing. Let's go!
Tyler won. You're done.
This is my ladder. You can't climb it.
That's an airline.
Somebody better hold me.
Okay, yeah. Do something then.
Raw energy. Blow the house down.
EWC app, it's live now. All you have to do, of course, is just scan the QR code that's going to be on your screen momentarily to get involved. Like I said, the Esports World Cup is truly phenomenal. There's so much going on. And if you think you can call it, if you think you got what it takes to see who's going to win, well, go ahead and put it all on the line. Scan the app and let us know how good you are. Not only through that, but also in our chat as well. Make sure you're keeping active. Let's take a look at a couple of our stats from that map number 1. And clearly it's going to be favored heavily towards Falcons MENA.
Oh, man, 11:37 on this one at 12-1 in favor of Falcons MENA, and you can just see it across the board. You know, they started out strong, and they finished even stronger for this one.
You get nothing, ma'am. Not a single turtle, nor lord, at least a turret. So Geltek have to revisit that. If there is something they're going to change, Joseph, just one thing. Name it with me. 3, 2, 1, Hirara.
Hirara, yeah, I was going to say Hirara. I've said it so many different ways, but yes, Hirara.
Yeah, they needed something out of the jungle to actually help out because Coelho was just taking too much. She was a sandbag here. Names was just taking names, farming heroes instead of minions. Syrinx to carry, of course, the gourd. Big smile on
Big
Papa
happy, big happy.
Knight's face. And Syrinx also the best wing woman. So, again, the draft was just almost perfect for Falcons. Geltek, not even in just execution. I'd say the draft needed a good tweaking.
That's right. We take a look at our stage once again, and the pressure heats up. Falcons MENA on your right, and the Geltek Cyber team on your left. The team that needs to improve going into map number 2. If they force a game 3, who knows what's going to end up happening. But right now, Falcons MENA have too much momentum, it seems anyways, after that map number 1. Now, you mentioned the hero selection. I want to start breaking that down a little bit more. Falcons MENA clearly did their homework, but do you think Geltek's Cyber team fell too far behind in the hero select?
You know, I think it starts with when we've seen Geltek Cyber team do really well, they do these kind of weird drafts, right, Daniel? I mean, they pretty much decide to go with whether it's the Alice, whether it's the Louis, whether it's the Clint, whatever it might be. Sometimes it's the method of madness that makes sense for these teams competing in MWI.
We go into Flying Cloud. By the way, Sora, I don't know what percentage it comes to, but only lost once today, and that was earlier to Vitality. But Sora might return again because we're going to Flying Cloud. This is one where Sora has been quite dominant.
Flying Cloud should, on paper, benefit Geltek. It allows for them to keep fighting, keep going, and reconcile possible execution mistakes. But here's the thing. Going back to the question at hand, did they fall behind on the draft? I'd say yes. The early pick Hirara might have been such a big target that Falcons main attack that said, hey, just deny that, attack elsewhere, and force the Hirara to deny snowballing and put her on a defensive position, makes the hero an assassin already half as efficient.
Yeah, because it almost feels that way, right? This is the point of the Hirara pick that we've been talking about so much. If she's first pick, if she's stopped in the jungle, that's the thing about assassins right now. The jungle assassins, if you pressure them early on, if you stop them from even getting a hint of momentum, they seem to struggle extremely terribly right now. I don't know what it is about the current meta.
That's why, despite Moonton's efforts in the recent Scarlet Embers update, when we all thought, hey, they killed the big three, Fredrin, Akai, Baksha,
Yep.
they didn't. We still live in a utility world. Praise be, opening with a Baksha.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of the Baksha, there's one of the big three. Lock it in. You know, this is good. Yeah.
He appears.
Pick it up, roll around with it. Again, this stalwart of a hero has, I don't know what his the cross KDA is for Baksha right now, but I know it's one of the junglers that has the least deaths out there currently, just how fast you can move around the map, how tanky you are.
And that's not even what proves his efficiency. He can die like 5 or 6 times and still do what the team needs. Him not dying just shows that the opponent had nothing on the squad.
Pretty much. So how do you slow down the drive-by?
Find a way. Oh my lord!
You give him the glorious way.
Yes, but I was gonna say also, get a carry, right?
Yeah.
And she just shreds through any tank, but not when you got the Pharaoh spear on you.
I like it. I like it. The Pharaoh spear.
For sure, you've been
I've been throwing it out there, but
yeah.
You know, I wanted to make sure that she was, you know, the accuracy was there, and Names has done it, so might as well just go the Moskov again.
And the Hylos allows for a front line to exist, which is something that we didn't get to talk about much about Game 1. What impressed me the most about Falcon Vega's playoffs form is, in Game 1, despite them not having a traditional box, they were able to make one along the way.
How they do that?
The Sora starts it up, great initiations from Nocturne. You have the threat of the linking from the Carmilla, and that automatically just creates a box that doesn't have to be a physical box like an Eve.
It's like a moving box.
It's a moving box with the Gord too. Geltek now looking to try and dismantle that with a lot of on-ground damage, almost literally, with the Lilia, and of course the carry to answer to the Hylos. How does MENA close up the first half?
Do they lock in the mid lane option now, or do they also pick up a jungler just to make sure that more aren't banned out? I mean, there's a couple things, and one thing that Falcons MENA has really showcased is that versatility in the draft, you know, and they've showed us here, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Fanny. Speaking of versatility, it's only been picked twice so far for MWI, and now we get to see it showcased here.
There's Fanana. She's phenomenal with it.
Phenomenal.
I mean, there's got to be a reason why Coach Koba agreed to picking it here in Red 3. Good news is they're going to be able to protect it through the Red 4 and 5 bans, and then still Red 4 power pick. Which is, come to think of it, maybe the reason why assassins are still scarce in the current metagame. It's because you have to protect them. You have to find a way to get them to work in a certain environment. And looking at Geltek's draft right now, the box is what, 50-50 with the Fanny. You have to find her midair to stop her, or else she just goes roughshod. There you go, getting rid of the Ruby. I wouldn't be surprised if Red 5 was a Cho.
Red 5 Cho. Something to support that Fanny pick. These are basically the picks being banned out that just counter the Fanny directly.
Yeah. The Hilda, the Ruby, deny her the purple.
Get rid of those. What's the last ban going to be from Geltek here? They still want to hone in on the XP option. We still need a mid lane or two from Falcons.
Oh, yeah, Sora, because they can't invest in a Valentina anymore. One of the few valid ways to beat a Sora, so they put Nocturne on check. Red 4, I believe this should be the mid laner.
What do you want to take up here? Eve?
Eve's open.
Yeah, Eve's open. You're going against Lilia. There's not too much, unless you are looking to experiment a little bit.
And you outrange the carry.
Yeah. Eve seems like the only answer, unless there's something else up the sleeves here of Falcons MENA.
This might be the swerve.
There could be a swerve.
But I do think, yes, Eve is the categorically correct answer.
Because other than that, it's just, what, the Farsa? They're gonna hold off on the mid lane pick. They'll pick up a Lapu for now.
Yeah, no rush. They know it's a Lilia, and they know that there's no way that Eve can get denied anymore. I wonder if that's something Coach Osprey at this current moment is thinking about, or if did it even cross their minds or come up in conversation?
Yeah. I almost thought they'd just hold off on the XP just to see what the XP lane would be for Geltek first, but I think this is also just kind of showcasing how confident Nocturne is in her play and her ability to go ahead and fight off. Yeah.
Coach, give it to me.
Coach, let me take it.
Coach. Also, it's another way to, in the early to mid, put the carry on check.
Yeah. Keep that in track. Enough pressure towards the Lilia if you need to. You're kind of that front line.
Yeah, which is just how they won a majority of game one.
Yep.
Just by being in your face.
What's this answer here? Phoveus. Phoveus goes in the XP lane. And then a Kaja. Debut Kaja. Interesting pickup too, hero-wise. I mean, lore-wise, to pick up against Falcons MENA here. Could this be the answer? Because I was saying that uniqueness of the draft from Geltek is what has helped them get to this point in the knockouts.
And then it comes out again.
This is unique.
Right when they needed it the most. At match point against Falcons, Vega MENA. One more pick, the mid laner. As we mentioned, is the Eve still solid? Would you still, even with the Phoveus and the Kaja?
Yeah, I think you still go Eve. Gives you control, gives you utility, fight around the objective. You know, you're not going to be too worried. I mean, even so, whoa. The swerve is here. Another debut of Vexana?
Double debut in game 2 of this best of 3. I haven't seen enough Vexana in recent history.
Correct.
She's such a stationary hero. Where's this coming from?
Where is it coming from? Well, we all want to know, and we want to know for sure if Geltek's Cyber team can in fact come back, or will Falcons MENA close the series out with a 2-0 victory, once again continuing the history they've already made so far. Geltek Cyber team, do they have it within them to come back? Let's find out. Miracle Eterna, sending it to you.
We're at match point, ladies and gentlemen, here with DD.
Whoa.
The double debut. All right, we have the Vexana on one side and we have the Kaja on the other. This is ramping up to be a very exciting matchup. But one thing's for sure, taking a look at the composition from Geltek, the Kaja in the roaming position, they are looking for a ways to shut down Nana and perhaps names in the later portions of the game.
It's crazy. They doubled down on it, man. I thought the Phoveus was going to be enough and then they would go for something like Cho, right? But they didn't really need any more clear. They would already have it with the Lilia. You add in the Kaja and it just makes it so difficult for anyone to walk up without getting...
And you can see it, right? Almost forcing a recall there by Nucci. You can already see that even Strings was caught low. And look at the Insta invade.
Oh, Nana though, walking up with the cable, stunned up already. Nana gets away with Revitalize, helped out by the team, and still is able to get the purple buff. Not a successful invade for now because it's a Purify for a Revitalize. And look at the wave that Sonjika is going to be missing out on.
Yeah, not the greatest of trades, but obviously they are trying to look for ways to shut down Nana early on, and they're gonna look for something more. I mean, technically the Lilia still clears very quickly. Kaja as well should be able to help facilitate that, so we can expect more aggression and more mid rotations, especially with Kyoe on the Baxia, ever as mobile.
The zoning as well now for Nucci. It should have been one of the winning conditions for GCT, getting instant mid prio, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case coming into turtle number 1. Sonjika, she won't be level 4. Nana's already level 4. On the other side of the map, Liubon is going to have to play it safe here. If she walks up, she's going to get chunked, and it's just a bit of damage by Nana.
And so far, Nana doesn't really have anyone to use that kill pressure on. I guess you could go for the gold laner, but even the Lilia is not a straightforward target that you'd want at this state in time.
Level 4 advantage. No Eternal Guard, but Kuecho's down to Syrinx already. And now Syrinx gonna throw the Eternal Guard straight into the Raven Spider. Kyoe locked down. Now the Raging Slashes and a Flicker as well by Nocturne. Nucci with the Revitalize. That's a Dark Wave and a Flicker into Sonjika's Glooms. Toki with the rotation all the way from the bottom lane. No SOD. Just a turtle for Falcons Vega and 2 kills to GCT.
Which is not bad, right? That's a trade that we didn't really see from game number 1. I mean, Falcons Vega went a little bit too greedy into the enemy jungle, and Geltek was able to punish them for it, right? 2 members. Luckily, there was, you know, the facilitation or the backup coming in from Liubon on the Phoveus and they were able to get a little trade of their own. Now the big question is, what do they use alongside it? Where do they go after that? Because obviously neutral objective will go into the hands of Nana, and that is going to push them a little bit further on as we get into the mid-game.
Kyo is going to go in with the shield unity a couple of times there. For me, it's just strange. Falcons Vega, they got enough damage on Kyoe to guarantee Turtle, but then they just overextended. The Lapu Lapu Nocturne decided the Raging Slash, missing the first two, but wanting to flicker past for the third one to hit. A bit off on the calculations, but at this time, it's still okay. They were able to make it away, but it could have been a big win.
Could have been. It's not that bad though. They do see the rotations coming through from Falcons.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
MENA. It looks like they want to target the gold lane like we talked about earlier on, but Nucci there gets spot out. Kuejo and Sonjik are in the vicinity, but the thing is, if the Kaja gets the Divine Judgment, there's no insta-burst to follow it through. It's a Lilia. It's not like a Farsa. It's not like a Kadita. So it's going to be interesting to see that chemistry between these two.
Yeah, the combo will be for later. I agree, the Lilia won't be able to go for it, but that's why Nana is trying to deal with Tokyo. That's the real one-shot that they have right now. With the Divine Judgment straight into the carry. Now that the carry, Tokyo, has already used the ultimate, I think Falcons Vega has just depleted GCT of that resource, that main resource, negated the insta-kill with the Divine Judgment now.
And that's going to make it a little bit more difficult for Geltek if they still want to contest for the second neutral objective, the second turtle of the game, considering that Kyoe is a level below of Nana right now. I guess she does catch up. There is still a chance for a drive run. Let's see if they're able to get it, because it looks like Geltek are actually in a better position to pick up this turtle this time around.
It should be Geltek with the advantage over the neutral objectives with the Folies and Abaksha. Nucci gonna have to escape from this one. Darkwave comes out with the Eternal Guard, locks them down. Two members! AoE coming around with Nocturne and Nana with the cut thrown around Tokyo. Nana with a double. Now the Black Shoes baited away already. Nocturne trying to go for this dive again. But Sonjika is able to escape. Names in that skirmish, so chaotic, getting a double as well.
A 4-for-2 trade at the very end of it. And Falcons, they're able to utilize the composition really, really well in that particular team fight. We're going to take a look at the replay here. And Strings, just impeccable timing with her ult, and the follow-up definitely was there. You can see Names unable to get that SOD, by the way. And if she did, Tokyo would have been eliminated way, way earlier. But it looks like it's a reset for the neutral objective, and eventually Falcons MENA are going to be able to pick it up for themselves. This is a 1,000 gold lead now for the MENA reps.
And yet again, Eterna, it's Geltek Cyber Team who find themselves in the same situation. Divine Judgment on Names, no one there to follow it up though. And now it's the Eternal Guard. Names still able to cut away as Nana's going to try to go in. Able to clean up on Sonjika. Forcing the Black Shoes, and a big cursed blast to send Liuban running back to base.
It's uncanny because game number one, if we're looking at the composition from Geltek, right? Kyoe has always been like a really important figure in the team with the way the team fights go and how the tempo of the game goes as well. Game number one, risky play. Wait a second. Nana 3v1, still able to clear. Not a good, not a bad job there, as it looks like Kuejo might be looking for something, doesn't necessarily get it. And it looks like they might be able to pick up that structure in the bottom side of the map. A good trade, unless Nana can do something about it again.
She should be able to clear, but she's got to be careful of Kuejo. Yes, we know there's no Divine Judgment, but the timing is a bit different on their side. Sonjika up top. So it's a turret for turret, but this is still a big problem for Geltek Cyber Team. If you look at their composition, it's the exact same thing we went through in game one. It's a composition that should be the one ahead right now. It should be the ones dictating the tempo, looking for picks around the map, and taking away the purple buffs, mainly from Nana at this point.
So what do you think went wrong for them?
I think they botched that early invade, man. Sonjika not getting level 4 for that first turtle played a big, big role into Falcons Vega's win. Kuejo didn't want to flicker for that, waited a bit too long, and gave Nana the right amount of time to react to it. It seems like GCT, they're hesitating a bit too much.
Oh, Divine Judgment?
It's on Nucci. It's such an awkward skirmish, and the rest of the team, it feels like they didn't want it. It's almost like Kuejo just wanted to get a Divine Judgment. The rest of the team called against it. And now it's a wasted Divine Judgment. Now there's no real lockdown to Nana, and they're going to have to rely on the Phobius. Liubot's bottom lane. Nocturne now with the Bravest Fighter. Zoning them in the back. Law and Order lands on Kuejo. 3 turtles to the fanny of Falcons Vega. And it's so big. Nana 2-1 and 3. The Moskov is scaling again.
What do they do at this point? Geltek Cyber Team, this is very uncharacteristic of them. I mean, the last time we saw them, they looked sharp, they looked precise, even in the drafts. So they lost that window in the early game. And now there is still a ways in the late game because they do have Tokyo. They still have the carry that scales into the late game. And I feel like that earlier Divine Judgment just really didn't work out. Wait a second, name's Flicker.
Gets away, pins them down with the Spear of Misery. Now the rest of the team coming over.
She gets out?
She does.
Oh!
Donovan's getting punished. Now the Flicker, but it's onto Nucci. They get a kill in the end. The SOD goes wide. Nana now on Liubot. The Dark Wave doesn't land, and it's going to be the trade. XP for Rome in the end.
They take what they can. They take what they can at this point. And to continue on the earlier sentiment about the Divine Judgment is that even if they were able to get that Divine Judgment down, there is no burst yet. Tokyo is still very far. Black Shoes already utilized, burnt out. The cooldown isn't as bad, and it should be up for the next neutral objective to spawn, which is the Lord, in under 40 seconds. But there you go, the items aren't there yet. Corrosive Scythe, and we also have the Golden Staff. But she's away from, you know, DHS and so forth. You can see that she's falling behind of Names, who already has that Swift Trinity down.
We're still losing out on so much farming space, so you can see Names and Nana constantly in the side lanes working up. Doctor knows the Black Shoes was used earlier, so now the Purify gets sped away. Nana's going crazy with the cables, but it's onto just the frontliners. A few of those shots. Nocturne getting caught by Divine Judgment straight up into Tokyo. Dark Wave lands on 2 Syrinx. Trying to cut away, but Kyoi's going to be able to cut her down as Tokyo gets a double. It might be the way for them to come back in the game. That gold lead now erased completely.
Falcons MENA need to be very careful when they choose to pick their team fights.
Yep.
Right? Because in situations when they take the team fights in the enemy jungle, you know, the nooks and the crannies, those are prime positions for Sonjik to deal out the damage, for Ryuwon to go in for an engage. So that's why they lost 1 by 1 there. And Geltek, they finally find their rhythm, they finally find their footing here in the 10th minute of the game, and it feels like that gold lead that Falcons was able to get earlier on instantly taken back. The comeback play.
It really is. It's a punish. Geltek were just waiting for that punish, and like you mentioned, Falcons Vega MENA, they have to be very careful where to pick these fights. If they go around those choke points against this AoE of the Dark Wave and those blooms, to be fair, it's going to be really tough. So GCT, they do better while they're moving backwards through Falcons Vega's crazy aggression. But a lot of times, Kuejo again doesn't want to use that flicker, is going to stay very conservative. Sees 2 members' names.
Oh.
Whoa, these are crazy moves to be making on Kaja with the flicker up. Nucci just face checks that push and gets obliterated.
Not sure what the plan is. She really can't underestimate the damage from Geltek at this point. She felt the damage earlier on in the top side. I think it was the first 7 minutes or 6 minutes of the game, and she did get obliterated after that. There was still a Lord marching, by the way, so it looks like now Falcons Vega, they're gonna have to be on defense. They lose all the outer turrets. The inhibitors still stand, but even the shield gets popped there in the middle and at top.
Full defense mode for Falcons Vega. They have pretty good clear with the Moskov still. GCT, on the other hand, it's going to be very tough for them to siege past these base turrets. Tier 2s, all right. But then into the base turret, that's where their lack of range will start to hurt them. Tokyo's going to have to get a Melpick gun before she can actually threaten these base turrets. But finally, this is what we were talking about in the early game with this composition. It's all about tempo and then taking the purple buff away. Nana wanted to get a bit more compensation of that purple buff take. Melpick gun, there you go for Tokyo. So far, so good now for GCT. They can just play to peel for Tokyo.
And that's a winning condition. After they lost that window in the early game, like we were talking about earlier on, they just needed to buy a little bit more time to wait for Tokyo to come online, and she is coming online. They are gonna really feel that damage sooner rather than later. Even though the damage dealt ranking, it looks like Sonjik is still up top. Lilia, again, the burst damage, sometimes you just really don't feel it coming. It's uncanny. It's like you don't feel it and then suddenly you're dead. Especially when the items start rolling in.
And the penetration. It's tough. Wait, what? Sonjika walking up way too aggressively. Kuwejo with the Divine Judgment, but it's only onto Nucci. This is actually the angle for them to go in. Dark Wave lands. But that's about it. Nana, no purple buff's gonna have to play it safe now, but they have split the fight open. The Terrified comes around and they bait it out. Oh, Tokyo! Taking them very low already. Insta shred, like you mentioned, a turn onto Nucci. A big blast of damage, and now it's Geltek Cyber Team that's looking for a shield unity. Lands onto Nana, but she's able to get the cable in time. Now 5 seconds on the purple buff. GCT looking at the Lord.
Uh-oh. The Lord is going to be blitzed. It's going to be shredded down. The SOD hits, but I don't think she wants to take that one. A little too risky, especially with the Divine Judgment still up. Names will not be able to do anything if she gets caught in it. And because of that burst damage coming through already for Tokyo, now Falcons Vega are playing on the back foot. 4,000 gold lead for Geltek here in the 14th minute of the game. Is there a way for Falcons Vega to come back?
I think the only way right now is for a mistake to happen for GCT around the siege. If they push a bit too far, if they overextend and they overstay their welcome in the siege, Falcons Vega could very easily still come back in the game because it's all about keeping Tokyo safe right now. If she's able to free hit in the back, I think it's GG. But if Falcons Vega can somehow break that box, get past the frontliners, there's a chance. It's very small, but there's always a chance right now. No Kyowe. Shield unity into mid. Your Curse Blast able to clear out the wave. And it's all up to Names to clear it out. The Moskov.
How do they do that? Nocturne, can she look for a crazy play of her own? Get a pick onto Tokyo. You can see the clear really going through. It's happening. But the Invade and the Engage is happening as well. Kyoe is looking for a pick onto Names.
That's about it for the siege. It's mid in the top lane. Now Nucci with the Glorious Pathway, walking up again, trying to go for the stun on Liuban. Rest of the team knows they've gotten what they needed to with the Lord. They're going to try to go for one more here in the bottom lane. Now this could be the angle for Kuwejo to flicker in and get a massive Divine Judgment. Rest of the team coming down. Knocked over the Bravest Fighter. Divine Judgment locks her down, and Tokyo's free hitting. Nana next to the chopping block now as they go for the damage again, but Nana's able to cable away as Nucci pops in Revitalize in time. That was Tokyo with a tread again. It's enough to take her down. Nana with the cables though. Is it enough? Syrinx needs to flicker out. Nana's going in again with the black shoes already from Sonjika. It's Names who takes the SOD. That's Nana with the jump again onto Tokyo. Still is able to keep herself out of harm's way. And it's GCT with a clean 3 base turret take as they disengage and wait for the next neutral objective.
Good defense, but an even better offense by Geltek. Right? They came in, they saw that they were able to get 2 inhibitor turrets top and mid. They took a gamble for the bottom side, and they get it. And it's great that they were able to get it as well, right? The bottom side of the map, the inhibitor turret being gone will allow them to utilize this to their advantage as they go for the next Lord of the game, and it does give them a lot more to work with compared to Falcons Vega, who have to constantly think about that far side of the map. They do still have the Moskov to work with, but with how fast Kyoe roams around the map, with how things have been really just unfolding in front of our very eyes here in game number 2, it feels a bit too risky if they send Names down there alone.
Everyone's so squishy too, so there's no way for them to just enter in. Wait a second, conceal! Kuwejo there, good Terrify in. Divine Judgment not used just yet. Eternal Guard to kite away. Nucci gets away with the Glorious Pathway, and they've already baited big resources. Tortoise's Puissance, Tokyo's ult, together with the Divine Judgment. If there's an angle to go for a fight, it's now. But Falcons Vega, do they know?
They should. They should. They use the Flying Clouds to come back into the game. They re-engage. Nucci once again just receiving the bad parts of it. She's at 076. She's been taken down 7 times. She's always the target of the Divine Judgment as well. But you're right. The wave is pushing on the bottom side of the map. Falcons need to make a decision now.
Nana's finding an angle here. Off angle, wave gonna be reset again. GCT, one of their strong suits, playing the macro game, waiting for the wave in the bottom lane, waiting for Nana to show up. And they start it again before Nana can show up. She shows in mid. Kuejo's taking a beating from that Lord though. They have to be careful of their health bars here. Curse Blast coming down. Kuejo! Flicker in Divine Judgment as well, but it's good peel from Series as he's able to land the Eternal Guard. Liubot's all alone in the back line as Nocturne is able to deal with Kuejo. And now it's a shred coming down as Nana will lose her immortality. But the rest of the team is dealt with the front line. And now it's 3v3. Syrinx, Nucci, and Names up against Sonjika, Kyowe, and Tokyo.
It's still a huge advantage for Geltek, right? Nana gets taken out. They have no source of retribution. Names was so low as well. The SOD lands, but she's not going to take it. This is a free Lord over to Geltek. A really good way of making things messy and chaotic in that particular team fight, and still able to come out on top. Tokyo is hitting like a truck.
She certainly is. She's shredding anything in her way, and that's why she sold boots. It's Windtalker and Immortality just in case. But the thing is, for Geltek, they don't have 5 members up already just now. Only now do they have them. The Flying Clouds will get them back into this Lord quicker, but Falcons Vega, they have the advantage of having their members spawn right next to the Lord here. It's into the base they go. They couldn't manage the waves properly, so we're going to see another delayed end. Falcons Vega have another shot at coming back in the game.
But they can do it all over again, right? They can try to go for the exact same thing. Because again, despite the Lord spawning on the opposite side of the map, it's still an advantage for Geltek that they can utilize. But look at this weird rotation from Kuejo as well as Kyowe. They're anticipating for a buff take, and they're waiting in the bush there to open up a trap. They see no one picking up the bait, and Tokyo picks that orange buff for herself.
They're just abusing this map control, utilizing to get everything out of Falcons Vega. No purple buff, no orange buff, not even a single green camp given over to Falcons Vega. They're literally suffocating Falcons Vega inside of their own base, waiting for the neutral objective to spawn and not giving any chance for them to build a lead in goal to try to swap those items later.
But it looks like there's a gamble. Wait a second, Nucci again? Does she want to go for 8?
Divine Judgment and a Dark Wave. Nucci's gonna pop the Revitalize, but she's gonna go down. Kyowe zoning them in the back line right now, as that's gonna be the bravest fighter by Nocturne, and the Flicker out as well. Now a stun onto Sonjika, who still has the black shoes. Nana tries to walk up. Waves good for GCT. Nucci is down. It's a 1-man advantage.
It was a gamble. It was a gamble made by Nucci once again, opening up the map, but they're not going to get anything out of it. It's just another death. The Black Shoes gets picked up there, and it looks like they want to still look for the end.
The Curse Blast is doing a lot of damage. They're able to clear out the wave. 19 seconds on the Lord. Tokyo, very dangerous, very risky move, but she gets out of the way. Nucci's up in 16, Lord's up in 8.
Can they buy enough time?
I don't think so. Geltek,
Yeah.
they have a carry. They can shred this Lord instantly.
With a Windtalker as well. So
Windtalker.
additional attack speed, but it looks like that's not the first thing that she goes for. She actually goes for the orange buff instead. That's gonna give Falcons a little bit more time to, you know, come back into the game. What I really wanted to highlight was the fact that the Holy Crystal was built in by Syrinx. So you can obviously think that the damage will be felt. She has the Divine Glaive as well, so they have to be careful. Falcons, they just go to the other side of the map. They go for the far lane. They don't go for the contest. They let it completely go. And Geltek pick up this Lord uncontested. Falcons pick up a structure on the top side of the map.
It's the only thing they can get.
Yeah.
They can't walk up to the Lord. If they do, it's an easy insta-kill for any one of their frontliners. And at this point, they need all their members to be alive if they want to defend this Lord. Geltek Cyber Team this time around, not losing a single member to... Well, what? Yeah, 300,000.
No, Jesus.
Damage taken, rather. Sorry.
Not the best game.
I mean,
feels bad for her.
depending on what kind of roamer you are, this is the best game, right? You want to be taking damage. It's just... That's crazy, dude. 300,000? That's like more than the rest of the team combined.
It's definitely a lot. But Mirko, this might be it. This might be game 3.
Oh, Divine Judgment lands! Names Immortality already, the Rose Gold, it goes through her. Monster kill for Sanjika. Now it's Nana in the back with the cables. Immortality gonna be popped as well. Lord evolves still in the mid lane as Nana buys the Rose Gold Meteor in time. And it's Kyowe to take Nocturne down. Nana again with the cable, still has the Rose Gold Meteor. Series is right there, but the rest of the team will target it down to bring us to game number 3.
A back-to-back game 3 here in the knockouts, ladies and gentlemen. The reset came in clutch for Geltek Cyber Team after their loss from game number 1. They completely turn it around to game number 2, bring it back to the tank junglers and bring it back to a surprise Kaja pick, a debut Kaja pick that eventually worked out for them in the end. We're back to a best of 1 between both teams. Again, everything is on the line, elimination match and match point. So we'll see what happens in game number 3, but before that, we're gonna throw it over back to the panel. We'll see you after.
We're there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Against all odds, we go 23 minutes for Game 2, and Geltek Cyber Team take the win, which means we're going to yet another Game 3. The knockout stages has been anything but entertaining. It's been incredible. It's been wonderful, and it's been awesome, and we will continue to go down the line of our quarterfinals, but still, we've got one more game to get through for these two amazing rosters. What changed from Game 1 to Game 2? Because Game 1 wasn't even competitive.
You know what changed? The draft. I think the draft was a big part. Leo and I shared some sentiments about that. Really difficult to have a Fanny, a hyper-scaling jungler like that, not being able to be protected well, and honestly, the Vexana pick left me perplexed.
Oh, the celebration is in. You said don't celebrate too early. Well, maybe that might be the case for Falcons MENA, but of course, Geltek Cyber Team are also going to get their celebrations in order as well, Leo.
It's the opposite of celebrations that fans of Falcons MENA are having, because I had a conversation not just with Joseph. Of course, we have friends out there. Jonas, one of MENA's great names in MLBB, he was asking Leo, why Vexana? Why Vexana? We were saying that it was Geltek who needed to adjust, but they did more than just adjust. They actually optimized their picks. But on the other hand, it's Falcons Vega MENA. I think they got carried away. Coach Koba, why? Why the Vexana?
Carried away with the Vexana specifically?
Yeah, I think okay, a lot of players say Nana's Fanny is almost the best. Some arguments to be had there, asterisk, but she's good on it. But Syrinx's Vexana. Joseph, when was the last time you saw Vexana in competitive play?
And that's the thing. It hasn't been picked up at all in MWI just yet. They decided to go with it. Again, not sure why, because the Vexana works in a really specific way, right? The main thing is you have an Eternal Guard, it's your ultimate, you drop down, you have this extra kind of body on the field. She does have good damage within her first and second skills too, but other than that, it's just not the protection value that you would have got, for example, with an Eve that we were thinking would come up from the draft.
Vexana almost has 0 combat resilience. You need so much more than that in the current meta game. Looking at this 23-minute bout once again, names still, the rich guy, she was given everything she needs. It's just, it was too much to ask for that lineup to win. Songjae, the carry, of course you're going to get that kind of damage down when you have a Divine Judgment on. Nucci took so much damage. What was that, 300k?
300k, I have to agree.
That's significant.
Yeah, that's so much damage to take.
It's all of it. That's all of the damage.
All of the damage, indeed. We'll get to look at some of that damage heading into our first clip from game number 2, which went the distance. A far cry from what game 1 was. We're now at the 15-minute mark. We're now approaching the home base.
Yeah, a lot of these base defenses that they tried again, you'll see that whole choreography. The Eternal Guard goes down while they deal with the Lord. But it just, again, when you're trapped in this kind of space to work with, once those tools are used up, where do you go from there? You know, and Leo, we were talking about this, especially on some of the later based offenses. It just, they didn't have much of a choice once the tools were gone. Like, what else do we do here? And our Fanny doesn't even have a buff.
And that's tough, isn't it? When you get that pressure on, it's tough to come back from. Only few teams have been able to accomplish it and be successful, right, in backing the team away from their home base. Let's look at our second clip, Leo, and start breaking it down from the perspective, obviously, of yourself as an expert of the game. What are we looking at?
We're now at 20 minutes, and this was quite the oopsie. Nucci just face-checked into 5 members of GCT, and there's, I can say, about 100 other things that you should have been doing with that Flying Clouds, with this kind of map, and I'm pretty sure they're talking about it now. That's what I hope they're doing, so that we don't see the same kind of result, because no one saw this coming from out of nowhere. It was a draft that shouldn't have happened, with a result that no one was thinking could happen in game 2.
Nice suit. Let's go to our third and final clip from game number 2. And I'm sure it's going to be towards the tail end of things. Now 22-32, and the Crystal is at risk of being eliminated.
Main point there, Names gets dragged by the Divine Judgment. That's the Kaja ultimate. Once Names is gone, your main point of contention in defending the space are pretty much out of the picture. And Names was such a big part of what their concept was. Other than the Fanny, you rely on, okay, well, we can split push with a Mozkov. We've seen it many times. She's relying on the spears. But once you're taken out of the picture with a Divine Judgment ultimate, you're pretty much gone.
We have to appreciate, though, the composure from Geltek Cyber Team to be able to come back after that map 1 loss, because we were thinking personally it might be a quick 2-0 series. Not the case here. After all, Geltek Cyber Team didn't make it to this very stage by just rolling over and dying. No, they won and dominated their respective group, winning 2-0, 2-0, and they're coming in with a mission.
Game 1 was their very first loss in MWI 2026, so that puts things into perspective. Now it comes down to one more game. No more flexing, no more experimenting. If you do, this could as well be your very last chance to do so. I'd hate to see a weird pick from out of nowhere again. We have to stick to the metagame. As Joseph put it, it's one or the other. The Vixana or the Fanny. Pick your lane.
But sometimes going with the comfort picks, especially in stressful situations, seems to be the way certain teams end up going. But the question is, Naisu, who would feel uncomfortable going into this game 3? I mean, they've both been neck and neck.
They have, and I would say that's the nature of the competition, right? For all of this, for all our competitors here, for all the female athletes competing for that championship, and to potentially get to the grand final, you're going to feel the pressure. Now, do you crumble under that pressure, or do you rise above it? And both these squads now have that opportunity to do so in game 3.
I think there's a...
And look at the pop-off, by the way. Big victory, slamming the table. Ooh. I love the celebration, but also the sigh of relief right after that celebration, thinking, oh, we finally did it. Okay, we're going to a game 3. We still have a chance.
After the dopamine and adrenaline hit, I'm pretty sure there is a valid reason for both teams to actually be just as confused. Number 1, for Geltek, why would they do the Vixana? That did not feel like a real game.
And by the way, if you feel like you can predict our tournament winner, scan that QR code and get involved. And let us know if you did it out in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And more importantly, who did you end up going with? Are you so bold to make that prediction yourself? A lot of great things, though, happening, of course, on the stage as the ladies once again are getting set up for now a finale. Final map, best of 3 going to map number 3. They've gone tit for tat. Now, map 1 again was a dominant form for Falcons MENA. Map number 3, or map number 2, excuse me, went the distance, but Geltek Cyber Team looked in control. What will map number 3 look like? I know we're all waiting on bated breath to see how this is going to end up unfolding. Again, for both of these rosters, history is being made. You know, for Falcons MENA, especially for their region, they're looking to catch up to the top dogs such as Indonesia and the rest, right? They want to be the best region when it comes to the MWI, and of course for the ladies for MLBB. But you've got to beat Geltek Cyber Team. And for the club championship race, Falcons need this win in map number 3.
Oh, I was hoping it'd be Expanding Rivers for map 3, man, because I was like, give them even ground, you know? Flying clouds from the last map, it either works for teams or works against them, like we just saw.
It gives you so much room to just make mistakes and shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
hence that last clip featuring Nucci. But now in expanding rivers, you can just play fully optimally. Make the right rotations, draft better, and make the right calls to respond to your opponents. Not just a plan for the sake of planning. And I think that's where Falcons MENA are right now. It's a matter of recentering and respecting the metagame, respecting your opponents, getting back to your winning ways.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think we've had 3 unique maps across the 3 games on the stage, which doesn't usually happen. A lot of times we'll get a repeat map. This time we're keeping it fresh, and we're going to go into this blind. We don't know how it's going to end up unfolding, but at least we get to see the pick and bans.
And Falcons MENA are going to be on that blue side, so they got the priority. Bans kind of adjusted here too. Paquito, Matilda, Marcel being banned out by Falcons MENA on the blue side. Over on the other, Belric, Carmilla doing the due justice here. What's the last one you want to take out? Do you opt for one of the gold laners right now, the carry maybe, or something else here?
Carry, Freya, still
Esmeralda,
out there.
Sora. Could this just be also a time to take Baksha first pick blue side because of expanding rivers also?
For Falcons MENA, yes.
Yeah.
That or Esmeralda. But I think Geltek could ban that too. Instead, it's the Gourd. So yeah, Falcons MENA, Coach Koba has 2 solid pickups here, maybe 3. Moskov, Baksha, and Esmeralda. Those are his, I'd say, 3 priorities.
Because whatever you don't take from one of those top 3 is definitely going to go to the other side. There's at least going to be one over there.
The least of which is the Moskov.
Yes. I don't know, man. Maybe lock in the XP lane, right? Get Nocturne going here. Allow you to have that power play in the XP lane. I think that's why you really take your time up to this point as Game 3 is so crucial.
So obviously still waiting for the first pick here, and Boxia, I guess, is one at the top of your list that we're wanting to see. And that would be a big move coming out from Falcons MENA, and it is going to be a Moskov. Wow.
They're still leaning on names. The Moskov for names, man. Now,
you think it's a comfort pick more than anything?
Oh, 100%. You know, even granted how the previous game went, I think still names has been phenomenal on the Moskov, and there's a reason why they pick it up first.
More than a comfort pick, it's a power pick.
Yeah.
She is the Pharaoh's spear.
She is.
The tip of the blade that might make Geltek bleed finally and just lay down and take it. Them or Falcons get shot out of the sky, one or the other.
So the answer here is, do you pick up a Belric Baksha? Do you go, oh wait, no, Belric's banned out. Valentina, Baksha again, maybe? Just because, again, it allows you that space to work with in the jungle, but they'll take up the carry instead.
I think this is a clear tell from Geltek that we're not banning the Sora. Make my day. Pick it. We're going to answer to you. And the Baksha, they get away with it. They can actually still, no. You know what? It's a 50-50. I think Baksha going into a carry can still win. I'm not fully against it.
Yeah, neither am I if it ends up being that case. And I think Falcons MENA, they're the decision here after they already picked up the Moskov is they could do Baksha, then they're mid, or Baksha and then go with a roam. Esmeralda still being open, but they'll take the Hylos again. Okay, there's nothing. Like, even the last game, I know it didn't look too great for the Hylos in the hands of Nucci, but yes, she took a lot of damage. She kind of had to do that for the team, and they go the Sora. No, mind you, the Valentina's on the other side.
So I think we're seeing 2 sides of the same coin here. They're both power picks and comfort picks.
Has to be.
And then this is, I'm sure, a conversation that Nocturne has had with Coach Koba saying, I know there's a Valentina, but Coach, trust. Trust, we can do this. Hoping for no Vixana.
I was going to say, so you're at that point where it's down to the one game. Give us our comfort. Our tournament lives are on the line. Let's just do that.
Why not? I think comfort picks at this point might actually be a smart play because, like it was brought up earlier on the desk, if you don't have to really worry about playing around the hero, you just know how it works inherently. I mean, that's a comfort in its own right, especially going into a Game 3.
Definitely so. Atlas is going to be one of the main picks that we've seen in the Roam work so far throughout the current meta.
Yep, he is a rising tide. The buffs over the past couple of patches have done well to make this bombastic setter really make an impact in the current metagame. Going into the bans, attack the mid lane. I'd say, given the, bold decisions Falcons made, you still have to watch out for that mid pick. Take out the I don't think you want to take out the Eve. You want to give more to the Valentina. Take out the Lilia?
Take out the Lilia?
Yeah, no, take out the Lilia.
Yeah. Since they already took out one of the main pickups, that Gord, they'll take out the Alice.
Wait,
Lilia next.
This is so weird. Why the Alice? There's no... Wait, Alice Jungle.
I was going to
That's
say Alice
how-
Jungle. That's the only other caveat there since the Sora is in play. Alice Jungle. Because, like, I mean, it's not often that we see it. We actually thought we might see it in the previous one, but...
It already won.
Yeah, already won. What else do you want to go here? At least for Falcons MENA to take off the XP lane. I think they're still going to hone in it. They go with the Guinevere.
Also a solid jungle
Solid
pick.
jungle.
So it's both. 2 birds with 1 stone. Geltek, this has to be a mid. I'd say.
Mid lane, yeah. Go with the mid lane ban. At least to, I don't know, like you said, you can just leave the Eve open. You can let the Eve go through.
Yep. I think it'd be to Geltek's benefit because they'll have so many
they
more
banned the Fanny.
options.
Okay. Take out the Fanny. You mentioned about Nana's Fanny in the previous one. I think it would have gone a lot different if, again, the composition was a little bit different because Falcons MENA need that support if you're going to pick up an assassin jungler. So now that the Fanny's gone, I wonder if they're still going to opt for that. Knowing that both junglers haven't been picked up and how this has changed the course of the meta in its way, at least here for MWI, has changed where sometimes it goes this way where it's down to the last 2 picks for both sides. You don't have the jungler yet, you know, and you kind of leave that swerve opportunity. So here for Geltek, do they just go with an XP laner now and then hold off on that jungle?
Or just jump to the best jungler that they can think of now because they want to see what the XP laner has to deal with in terms of early rotations after MENA's blue 4 and 5.
You're not thinking it could potentially be an Allis again, right? An Esmeralda first, so we're going to have the suspense.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
They want to have the element of surprise. So that could possibly be totally nothing, and they just go back to like a normal meta pick, or everything that just shocks Falcons MENA into submission. Now, 4 and 5, Coach Koba back in the driver's seat. I'd say, looking at Geltek's draft for now, and knowing how Falcons MENA rely so much on names,
Yep.
maybe a tank jungler or a fighter, a tank or a fighter jungler.
Tanker, fighter, jungler, Eve, but they'll go Lilia.
Very good.
At least a Lilia's there. Either of the 2 were great. Now for jungle option, what do you pick up? Oh, the YSS.
Okay.
So fighter. I mean,
and a hybrid.
hybrid, basically.
He's a tweener.
Yep. In between right there. And then now for the last pick.
And I think it's just so much better given that his ult Mountain Chakra provides vision, something that Falcons MENA was struggling with in game 2.
100%. So now this is up to Kiowe. What is she going to put in the jungle?
Ice Queen, what you got?
Is she going to be cold with it, or is she just... Because if this is a standard pick, this would be one of the most standard compositions that we've seen Geltek actually play.
And I would be all the happier for it.
Same.
I don't want no shenanigans. I want them to earn their slot in the top 4 by playing the best MLBB they got.
Oof. Decisions made. It is the Allis. And I'll say this again. Leobon mentioned, I asked why the Allis. She said, you know what? Kiowe just likes playing the Allis.
If they're going to make it a top 4, they're going to make it with style.
Geltek Cyber Team, their key was at risk of being crushed. It still very much is. However, their chances are a lot better as they force a game number 3, putting the pressure back onto Falcons MENA, who is once again trying to achieve history. They've already done so, but do they want to end in quarterfinals or progress forward to semis and therefore closer to the trophy? It's up to them to decide. Miracle, Eterna, let's finish this story.
And finish the story we shall. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3, the final game of this best of 3 series between Team Falcons MENA and Geltek Cyber Team. Tournament lives are at stake. Keys are going to be crushed after this. The question is, who will move forward and who will have to bow out? We're going straight into this with a very signature and unique Aulus for the Ice Queen.
It's just so weird to see the Aulas, but it's already something that we've seen from Kyoe, right? She won on it too. It was with a Hanabi, I remember. It was kind of a crazy game. It's just give it up to Coach Osprey and the Geltek Cyber Team girls to pull off a pick like this and a Hanabi. Looking at the emblems though, nothing too crazy. Nucci already maybe suffering the same fate as the previous game. Liubon's taking a beating. Has to flicker out. Nocturne. Cancel that regeneration. Flicker for Revitalize, a win for Falcons Vega.
So she still gets out this time around. I think her last KDA was 0-8 something, but she got punished a lot. And I think the panel also mentioned it, right? She was struggling with visibility. She couldn't see around the map. So it does make sense that the YSS comes through, gives her the opportunity to help out Nucci in that respect. She was the highest damage taken earlier on. Had to chuckle a little. And not because it was funny, it was just, man, what a fate. Must have not been as easy for Nucci, and hopefully this time around it will be different for them. But as it stands, still at a 0-0, no one has been able to get any pickoffs so far.
Yep. A slower game. They know what's at stake. They're literally fighting for their tournament lives still here. 1-1. It's all or nothing. Nocturne first onto the XP Crab. This is going to be a big battle for the XP Crab because whoever gets it first, they get pure tempo over the turtle, but it seems like Liubon doesn't want to go for it. Kuejo baits out the Mountain Shocker. That was Kyoe with the walk-up, gets caught in the Mountain Shocker. This could be the chunk of damage they need to start the fight. Sonjika with the steel and the black shoes. Now it's Liubon. Getting a bit of damage. Kyoe having to use the ultimate to get out of harm's way. Sonjika now holding the position. Splashing a bit more damage. Nucci with the Revitalize. Taking a heck of a lot of damage. Toki with the rotation. Nocturne diving in. First blood. The SOD lands as well. This could very well be a 5v5 as Nocturne takes to the skies. Very well. No! It's terrified. Cancelled out. Nana gets the turtle. It's level. 2 kills for a kill and the turtle.
Huh. They went in for the re-engage. Eventually it does pay off because they do get 2 kills because of it. And it feels like a similar story from Game 1, Game 2, right? Falcons being able to get the neutral objective first, Geltek being able to get the team fights, and usually they're able to capitalize over that with another domino effect around the map. But so far, again, still very equal on the board. Nana, though, I didn't expect that much damage from YSS early game up against the Owlers.
It's so tough when you get chunked like that, right? You're built for CC immunity and long team fights, but when you just get bursted at the start of the fight, when you're down to a quarter of HP as an Aulus, it just gives over the neutral objective for free. Luckily, the rest of the team, Sonjika, definitely the MVP of that fight, coming back into the fight, rotating over, getting space, and then Tokyo, always rotating quicker than names. Certainly going to be a big problem as we get into the later stage of the game if Tokyo is this active. There's no one on the side of Falcons Vega that can really zone Tokyo. That was why, you know, the Yeve could have been an answer. The Mountain Shocker now opened up. Nana caught the perfect match, thrown back again, and the rotation instantly from Kyoe on the Aulus. The SOD this time doesn't land. Nocturne with the shifting skies, lands it on Sonjika, but she has the black shoes. Stunned up constantly. Oh, a few recalls. Sonjika's feeling it. Spear of Misery into the CC immune. It's still so close. 50-50 in the mid lane. Flicker out. Syrinx with the black shoes. A win in the mid. 13 seconds for the next neutral objective. And it does seem like it should be Falcons Vega with tempo.
It's a battle of micro. It's a battle of macro. It's a battle of flare as well in that mid lane. Both took black shoes out. And luckily, both of them were still able to escape with their lives. But with that being said, it's another reset as both teams are going to be corralling against the next neutral objective. You can see that Kuejo is already in position. Unfortunately, the Fatal Links aren't there just yet, isn't there just yet for her to utilize. Sonjik as well with the IMU doesn't have anything prepared. So we'll see exactly how this falls down because Nucci is already there. She knows where the positioning of Liubon is. But I think Kyoe has the better grasp over the turtle.
It's all up to Kuejo to find a big set. She doesn't have the flicker, but she's waiting right in there for the legs! A massive combo. Kiyoi running it down as well. The SOD lands, but Kiyoi still able to survive right now as Nocturne's gonna get taken down. Names just teleported straight into harm's way. Kiyoi and Tokyo running them down. Sanjika gonna be taken out, but Shu Bond is still there, chasing Nucci away. Nana's out of the fight. Nucci's getting chased by Liu Bond under the turret. This should just be a kill of Falling Star Moon to take Nucci down for the first time in this game. Sorry, rather the second.
A 4-4-2 trade, and unfortunately it was Kiyoi that was able to pick up the neutral objective as well. It was a big Fatal Links, a really good initiation play coming in from Kuejo, and everyone collapsed over that really, really well. Falcons are now on the back foot here in the first 6 minutes of the game. You can see the gold gap instantly take its place. 1,000 gold lead and counting. And they were able to pick up a structure in the top side as well. Things are not looking good for Falcons MENA.
Sanjika and Kuejo, redemption from the previous games, especially for Kuejo. On the Kaja Gunshot here, on the Atlas, she's just running with it. Perfect match lands. Fatal Links. Whoa. What the heck? That was Nana with a traceless forward. Luckily, the rest of the team was there to help her out. But this could be a tragic day for Falcons. Hey, Turner, just earlier, Falcons ID sent home by Vitality. Falcons Vegas started off really strong with game 1, but game 2 slipped out of their hands. Then we have a game 3 where Geltek Cyber Team, for the first time in the series, hold a lead at the start of the game.
They came in this knowing that Geltek was a strong foe. They wanted up again, but that's a Fatal Links.
Baiting out the Purify, shift these guys by Nocturne, delaying the skirmish a bit. Nana with a rotation as well. Nocturne just walks into it. Toki with a tread. That's a big mountain shocker, but there's no follow-up now. Black Shoes in the midst of it all. Black Shoes again from Sanjika. Lubon, Falling Star Moon, stops Syrinx in her place, but no more kills. Just an open turtle for GCT to take.
Another advantage that they are able to put in their belt, or under their belt rather, a neutral objective, a kill over, and they have as much map control as ever. You see the SOD being placed but doesn't get its mark. Nucci tries her best to try and prevent this structure take. They go ahead and open up that ult.
I think it's fine if they lose Kuejo. That's a sacrifice that they should be willing to take. Kiyoi, CC immune, gets out of the mountain shocker. Tokyo picked up the turret while all that was happening. So it's value.
And we're now just about to hit the power point of Owlus. Typically, mid-game is where they're the strongest, and we're heading into that point, and Geltek already had the early game under their belt to begin with. So things are going according to plan for Geltek here. 2,500 gold lead. You could see the top lane being bullied. Names and Liubon. Look at the damage that she's outputting onto Names. Names has absolutely no space to farm.
Nowhere to farm. Wherever she goes, there's one of the Geltek Cyber Team members just stalking her. And this time it's Liubon, always on her. In the skirmishes as well, what makes it so good for the Aulas is that usually as a normal, assassin jungle, you gotta be creative. On an Aulas, you can just brute force your way into it with CC immunity. Through the front line, right into Names and Syrinx. And Sanjika, always stealing the Black Shoes, has given Falcons Vegas such a tough time because there's no one that's vulnerable on this team.
It's really hard to look for an advantage. It's really hard to look for something to trade with. And now you can see that Nana is taking a risk there, trying to push in that bottom side of the map. She should be able to get it, but wait a second, the SOD does not land. Esme, she's gonna be able to clear it. They don't even get the structure down bot.
It's almost like Names made a sacrifice in that game 1 to land all the SODs, but never to land them again in game 3. Tokyo with a shred on Nucci. Sanjika with a terrified Purify comes out, but Syrinx gets away in time. Now it's a pullback. Tokyo shut down. In the midst of it all, the Fatal Links lands. Now with Liubon on the Falling Star Moon. Sanjika trying to provide damage. Oh, the AoE is big. Names survives Liubon. Flickers in forward, but Names is able to blink out in time. Signs of life from Falcons Vega. It's mid for gold. Tokyo finally shut down in this game.
Really, really worth. They don't even lose the structure in mid, so they do still have a control over their own jungle, but Nana's in trouble now. There is backup coming from Nucci. Do they really want to go for this re-engage?
Kuejo's in a tough spot. Nana, shifting these guys in a flicker, bringing her back as well. Nana on a click spree. Names Spear of Misery lands. Sonjika now. Does she pop into these guys? He goes in deep onto
No way.
the Spear of Misery. Peels for herself. Gets Nana the double.
That would have been too much. That would have been too much if Sonjika could get that kill over Names. Luckily, she still had the spear to bring her back and eventually have the damage to take her down.
Tokyo.
And this does mean that 2 members are down. Falcons should be able to pick up this Lord.
Kyoe went for the chase. Lord's already very low. Kyoe won't be able to make it in time. The retreat from Nana is good. And Falcons Vega get their hands back in the game. 10 minutes in. Only a 1,000 gold lead, and I do think that Falcons Vega have a very good scaling comp. It's a Lilia and a double marksman composition. They should be able to shred now with items.
So they're still in the game. They still have the foot in the door. It's not a 50-second Kyoe. What is she doing?
Nocturne goes in, but none of the other members capitalize on that. Nana, Mountain Shocker just a zone. 2 levels ahead of this Aulus.
She's fine, she's fine. Falcons take something of their own. They pick a structure up top. What it was really peculiar for me was during that entire Lord. Wait a second.
The first time
Again?
she got away. The second time it might just be a bait. The whole team coming around. Oh, Kuejo! Fatal links into Tokyo's free hits. That's Nana taken down, and Nucci's going to be next on the chopping block. Kyoe just made them. Sonjika with the SOD! Breaks the formation, and it gets Liuban to get a falling star moon on Nocturne. Oh my god, we thought it was a mistake. It turns out to be a bait by Kyoe.
What a play, what a play, what capitalization from the rest of the team. Early pick Valentina. Black Shoes was the choice. Suddenly she picks up the SOD and she gets a pick for themselves. 4 members are down from Falcons. They're gonna be up in a few seconds. Nocturne, the only one left standing here as Geltek look for more and take them away from Falcons. How did they go from a 50-50 to what we're seeing right now?
It's these very thin margins. They literally just out-mechanic their way into that win. Logically, it shouldn't have been a win. Kyoe is out of the fight. It was a 4v5 they were taking, but they split Falcons Vega just right for them to capitalize. Again, Nucci walks up, now the glorious pathway backwards. Oh, Kuejo! Fatal Links finds everybody! Kyoe gets a triple, Tokyo gets 1 on top, and it's Nana to try to cut the waves in mid. Wave bot is good. Nana's gonna have to pull a miraculous defense, but she's still handling the wave mid. She won't be able to recall in time.
This is it! This could be the very end! And it truly is, and Nana will not be able to deny it away from them!
Geltek Cyber Team pull a reverse sweep to make it the top 4.